Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Speak Easy English podcast. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Courage. And today we're tackling the one thing that makes even advanced English learners want to throw their textbooks out the window.
Oh, yes. Today we're diving deep into the preposition nightmare, specifically in, on, and at.
The three little words that haunt your dreams.
But before we jump in, and speaking of if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back. We are so grateful you're here learning with us.
And hey, do us a huge favor. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, pause and do it. We'll wait.
We're waiting.
Because when you subscribe, you never miss an episode. And it helps other English learners find us. It's a win-win.
Also, if you enjoyed today's episode, which we know you will, give us a like, a thumbs up, whatever platform you're on, and share it with a friend who's learning English. Trust me, they'll thank you later.
Especially after today, because we're not doing boring grammar rules. Oh, no, no, no.
Today, we're building mental maps, visual pictures in your mind that will help you finally understand these prepositions.
And I'm going to hit you with all the weird exceptions, because English wouldn't be English without some chaos, right?
Right. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever you're drinking, get comfortable, and let's solve this preposition nightmare once and for all.
Let's do this.
Before we get started, we have created a study guide to go along with this episode. You can find the link to download the puff in the description. It's free, guys, and it will really, really help you in the long run. All right, so let's start with the big picture. Why are prepositions so difficult?
Because they don't translate directly from other languages. Like in my native language, we might use the same word for in, on, and at. But English said, let's make it complicated.
Exactly. But here's the secret. Prepositions aren't random. They follow patterns. And once you see the pattern, once you build that mental map, everything clicks.
So what's the mental map?
Okay, imagine this. Think of in, on, and at as describing your relationship with a space or time.
Relationship? Like, are we dating the preposition?
Kind of. Think of it this way. In means you're inside something, surrounded, enclosed. On means you're touching a surface. At is a specific point or location.
Okay, I like this. So in is like being inside a box.
Exactly. Picture yourself in a box, in a room, in a building. You're surrounded by walls or boundaries.
So I'm in the house, I'm in the car, I'm in the office.
Perfect. Now, on is for surfaces. Imagine you're standing on the floor, sitting on a chair, or putting a book on a table.
So on means there's contact with the surface. Got it.
Yes. And at is the most specific. It's a point. Think of it like a GPS pin dropping on a map. I'm at the library. I'm at the bus stop. I'm at home.
Wait. At home? Not in home?
Ah, see, you're already finding the exceptions.
Because I thought home is a building and we're inside it, so shouldn't it be in home?
Great question. We say at home because we're talking about the location as a point, not the physical inside of the building. If you said, I'm in the home, it sounds weird, right? Too literal.
English is wild.
It is. But don't worry, we're going to break down all these exceptions. But first, let me give you the basic mental map for time, too, because in, on, and at work with time as well.
Oh, great. More rules.
But these are easy. In means longer periods, months, years, seasons, centuries. In January, in 2024, in the summer. On means specific days and dates. On Monday, on Christmas Day, on July 4th. At means specific times. At 3 o'clock, at noon, at midnight.
Okay, that actually makes sense. In for big chunks of time, on for days,
at for exact moments.
Exactly. See? Mental maps work.
All right, I'm sold. But I know there are exceptions, so many exceptions.
There are, and we'll get to those. But first, let's practice these basics with some examples.
Hit me.
Okay, where would you use in?
The cat is in the box.
Perfect. Another one?
I live in New York.
Yes, cities, countries, states, we use in. Now, give me an on example.
The book is on the shelf.
Great. One more.
We're having a meeting on Friday.
Perfect. Now, at.
I'll meet you at the coffee shop.
Excellent. And one more?
The movie starts at 7 p.m.
You're nailing this.
I mean, these are the easy ones, but listeners, don't get too comfortable because the exceptions are coming.
They are. But before we dive into the chaos, let's remind our listeners, if you're enjoying this episode, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs this lesson.
Yes, share the knowledge, share the pain.
And subscribe so you don't miss our future episodes. We've got so many great lessons coming up. All right, Courage, let's talk about on, because on has some really weird uses.
Oh, I've got a list. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, first one. Why do we say on the bus and on the train, but in the car?
Ooh, great question. This confuses so many learners.
Because logically, I'm inside the bus, right? There are walls around me. So why isn't it in the bus?
Okay, here's the mental map. We use on for public transportation that you can stand and walk around in, buses, trains, planes, ships.
Why?
Because you're on a vehicle, like you're on a surface. Think of it as being on a platform that moves. You can stand, walk to different seats, move around.
Okay, but I can move around in a car too if it's big enough.
True, but cars are smaller, private vehicles. You get in them like you're getting into a small enclosed space. Same with taxis. Get in the taxi.
So public transportation on, private vehicles in.
Generally, yes. So, on the bus, on the train, on the plane, on the subway, but in the car, in the taxi, in the truck.
What about a bicycle?
On a bicycle, because you're sitting on it, not inside it.
Makes sense. What about a motorcycle?
On a motorcycle, too.
Okay. Next weird on usage. On the phone.
Yes, we say I'm on the phone, not I'm in the phone.
Which is weird because I'm not literally sitting on top of my phone.
Right, but think of it this way. When you're on the phone, you're connected, you're on a line, on a call. It's like being on a communication surface or channel.
So on means connected?
In this case, yes. Similarly, on the internet, on social media, on the radio, on TV.
Wait, on TV, not in the TV show?
We say, I saw you on TV, meaning you appeared on the television broadcast, but you could say in the TV show when talking about being a character or part of the show.
So she's on TV tonight means she's appearing, but she's in a TV show means she's acting in it.
Exactly. Context matters.
Here's another one. On fire.
Yes, the building is on fire, not in fire.
Why?
Because fire is on the surface of something, covering it, consuming it. You can visualize flames on the outside.
What about on sale?
Great example. The jacket is on sale. We use on because the item is placed in the category of being available for a special price. Think of it as being on the discount list.
Okay, what about on time versus in time?
Ooh, excellent. These are different. On time means exactly at the scheduled moment. The train arrived on time, exactly at 3 p.m. In time means before the deadline with time to spare. We arrived in time for the movie, before it started, maybe with 5 minutes to spare.
So on time is precise, in time is just not late.
Exactly.
Here's one that drives me crazy. On the weekend.
Ah, this one is tricky because it depends where you are.
What do you mean?
In American English, we usually say on the weekend. I'll see you on the weekend.
But in British English.
In British English, many people say at the weekend.
Wait, so both are correct?
Yes, it's a regional difference. Americans on the weekend, British at the weekend. Both are right.
English is trolling us.
Sometimes it feels that way, but here's another on usage: days of the week with parts of the day.
What do you mean?
On Monday morning, on Friday night, on Saturday afternoon.
Wait, I thought we use in for parts of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon.
Yes, but when you combine a specific day with a part of the day, you use on Monday morning, not in Monday morning.
So, in the morning, general, but on Monday morning, specific day and time.
Exactly.
My brain hurts.
Take a breath, Courage. And listeners, too, take a breath. You don't have to memorize everything right now. Listen again, take notes, practice.
And if you're finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment telling us which preposition confuses you the most.
Yes, we read all your comments, and they help us create better episodes for you.
All right, Vanessa, let's talk about in, because in also has some weird uses.
It does. What's your first question?
Why do we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night?
Ooh, great catch. This is super common.
It's not fair. Night is a part of the day, too.
No, but think of it this way. Morning, afternoon, and evening feel like longer periods. You're in that time period, surrounded by it.
Okay.
But night is seen more as a specific point in time, especially when it's dark. So we say at night like it's a specific moment.
So, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night.
Exactly. Although you can say in the middle of the night or late in the night when you're talking about being within the night period.
English, why are you like this?
I don't make the rules. But here's another in usage: future time.
What do you mean?
We use in to talk about how long until something happens in the future. I'll be there in 10 minutes. The movie starts in an hour. We're getting married in 3 months.
Oh, that makes sense. In shows the amount of time before something happens.
Exactly. It's like a countdown.
What about in a row?
Great example. We won 5 games in a row. In a row means consecutively, one after another.
Why not on a row?
Because you're thinking of the events as being in a sequence, in a line. You're inside that continuous pattern.
Okay, what about in trouble?
Yes, you're in trouble. We're in danger. He's in a difficult situation. We use in when you're surrounded by a state or condition.
So you're like inside the trouble.
Exactly. Similarly, in love, in pain, in a good mood, in shock.
Wait, in love but on a date?
Yes, because love is a state you're in, but a date is an event, an occasion you're on, like being on a journey.
What about in the picture versus on the picture?
Good question. In the picture means you're visible within the photo. You're part of what's shown. I'm in this picture from 1995. On the picture means physically on the surface, like if you drew on it. Someone drew a mustache on the picture.
So in is about being part of it, on is about being on the surface.
Exactly.
Here's another one, in line versus online.
Another regional difference.
Really?
Yes, most Americans say in line. I'm waiting in line at the store. But some New Yorkers say online.
Wait, so both are correct?
In different regions, yes, but in line is more universally understood.
What about in the news?
We say, I saw it in the news. It's in the newspaper. You're looking inside the contents.
But earlier you said on TV.
Yes, TV is a broadcast, a surface, but news and newspapers are content you read in them.
So in the news / in the newspaper, but on TV / on the radio.
Exactly. Although you could also say on the news, meaning on the news broadcast. Context matters.
This is why learners struggle.
I know, but the more you listen, read, and practice, the more natural it becomes.
Speaking of practice, listeners, don't just listen passively. Write down these examples. Try making your own sentences. That's how you learn.
Absolutely. And if you're learning something new today, give us a like. It really helps us reach more English learners.
And share this episode with your study group, your English teacher, your language exchange partner.
Yes, spread the knowledge.
All right, what about in person?
Great one. Let's meet in person, not on person or at person.
Why in?
Because you're meeting in physical, personal presence. You're inside the experience of being face-to-face.
What about in general?
In general means usually, typically. In general, I like spicy food. You're within the broad category.
And in particular?
In particular means specifically. I like Thai food in particular. You're focusing in on something specific.
What about directions? In the north or to the north?
Perfect contrast. In the north means located in the northern region. I live in the north of the country. To the north means moving toward the north. We're driving to the north.
So in is location, to is direction.
Yes. Similarly, in the south, to the south. In the east, to the east. In the west, to the west.
Got it. What about in the sky versus on the ground?
Perfect contrast. In the sky means surrounded by the sky, within the airspace. Birds fly in the sky. On the ground means touching the ground surface. The ball is on the ground.
That actually makes perfect sense with the mental map.
See, the mental map works. All right, let's tackle at. Courage, what confuses you about at?
First one, at home, at work, at school. Why not in?
Excellent question. This is because we're thinking of these as locations, points on a map, not physical buildings.
But they are buildings.
True, but when we say I'm at home, we mean that's where you are located. That's your point. We're not focusing on being inside the physical structure.
So it's about perspective.
Correct. If you wanted to focus on being inside, you could say, I'm in the house, I'm in the school building. But usually we say at because we're talking about the location.
What about at the door?
Someone's at the door. They're at that specific point, that location, not inside the door, that would be weird, and not on top of the door.
What about at the table?
We're sitting at the table. You're at that specific spot, that position. Even though you're technically on a chair, we focus on your location at the table.
So at is about your position in space?
Yes. Think of at as a GPS pin dropping on your location.
What about at the top and at the bottom?
At the top of the mountain, at the bottom of the page. These are specific points, specific positions.
But we say on top of too, right?
Right. On top of the building, both work, but at the top is the point, the position. On top is the surface level.
What about at the end versus in the end?
Another great distinction. At the end is at the final point. There's a surprise at the end of the movie. In the end means finally, eventually, after everything. In the end, we decided to stay home.
So at the end is a physical or temporal point, but in the end means ultimately.
Exactly.
What about at first versus in the first?
Ooh, good one. At first is in the beginning, initially. At first, I didn't like coffee. In the first is during the first period or part. We scored 2 goals in the first half.
So at first is like a starting point, but in the first is being within a time period.
Exactly. You're getting this.
What about at least?
At least means the minimum, the lowest point. It costs at least $50. You're at the minimum point on a scale.
What about at once?
At once means immediately or simultaneously. Immediately, come here at once, right now. Simultaneously, don't talk all at once, everyone at the same time.
Why not in once?
Because we're talking about a specific moment in time, a point. At works for precise moments.
What about at last?
At last means finally. At last we finished. You've arrived at the final point you've been waiting for.
What about at all?
At all emphasizes a negative or question. I don't like it at all. Do you understand at all?
What about speeds and temperatures? At 100 miles per hour, at 25 degrees.
Yes. At is perfect for specific points on a scale. Speed, temperature, price. At 60 mph, at freezing point, at $10.
That makes sense. What about at this point?
At this point means right now, at this moment in time or in a situation. At this point, I'm too tired to continue.
What about good at something?
Great example. I'm good at math. She's good at singing. We use at to show ability or skill in an area.
Why at?
Think of it as being positioned at a certain level in that skill. You're at a good point in math ability.
What about bad at?
Same thing. I'm bad at cooking. He's bad at dancing.
What about at a loss?
At a loss means you don't know what to say. You're at the point of being lost, confused.
What about at risk?
The building is at risk of collapsing. You're at the point of potential danger.
So many at phrases.
There are. Here are some more common ones. At peace, at war, at a glance, quickly, at random, without a pattern, at your service, at stake, in danger of being lost.
Listeners, are you writing these down?
You should be. And don't forget, language learning is a journey. You won't remember everything from one episode.
That's why you need to subscribe, so you can come back and listen again.
I second that motion. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, Courage, let's do some practice. I'll give you a sentence with a blank, and you fill in the preposition in, on, or at.
Okay, I'm ready.
I was born blank 1995.
In. I was born in 1995 because years use in.
Perfect. My birthday is blank June 15th.
On. My birthday is on June 15th because specific dates use on.
Great. The party starts blank 7 p.m.
At. The party starts at 7 p.m. because specific times use at.
Excellent. Now, I'll meet you blank the coffee shop.
At. I'll meet you at the coffee shop.
Perfect. Put your books blank the shelf.
On. Put your books on the shelf.
Great. I left my keys blank the car.
In. I left my keys in the car.
Nice. We're going blank vacation blank summer.
We're going on vacation in summer. On vacation in summer.
Perfect. Now let's talk about common mistakes. Courage, what mistakes do you hear most often?
Oh, I hear learners say, I'm in the bus instead of on the bus all the time.
Yes, that's a big one. Remember, public transportation equals on.
Another one, at the morning instead of in the morning.
Yes, remember in for parts of the day except night.
And in home instead of at home.
That's super common. At home, at work, at school. These are locations, points.
What about on Monday morning versus in Monday morning?
Good catch. It's on Monday morning. Specific day plus time equals on.
Another mistake, I'll arrive in 5 p.m. instead of at 5 p.m.
Yes, specific clock times equals at.
And I agree on you instead of I agree with you.
Ooh, that's a different preposition entirely, but good point. Some verbs have specific prepositions that go with them.
Maybe that's a future episode?
Definitely. We could do a whole series on prepositions.
Listeners, would you like that? Let us know in the comments.
Yes. Tell us what preposition topics you want us to cover.
All right, let's do a few more practice sentences.
The cat is sleeping blank the sofa.
On. The cat is sleeping on the sofa.
We live blank New York.
In. We live in New York.
I'll see you blank noon.
At. I'll see you at noon.
She arrived blank night.
At. She arrived at night.
Perfect. The picture is hanging blank the wall.
On. The picture is hanging on the wall.
Excellent work.
Wow, Vanessa, we covered a lot today.
We did. And listeners, if your brain feels full right now, that's completely normal.
You don't have to master everything in one listen. Come back to this episode. Listen again. Take notes. Practice.
Exactly. Remember the mental maps. In equals inside, surrounded, enclosed. On equals surface, contact, connection. At equals point, specific location.
And remember, there are exceptions. English is weird, but the more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it becomes.
So keep reading, keep listening, keep practicing.
And speaking of listening, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Speak Easy English podcast.
Yes, subscribing is free and it helps us so much. It tells the algorithm to share our podcast with more English learners.
And give us a like, a thumbs up, a 5-star rating, whatever your platform has.
And share this episode. Send it to your English learning friends. Post it in your study groups. Share it on social media.
Because the best way to support this podcast is to spread the word.
We also want to hear from you. Leave us a comment telling us which preposition confuses you the most, what topics do you want us to cover next, and where you're listening from.
Yes, we love hearing from our listeners around the world.
And remember, learning English is a journey. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress.
You're doing great. The fact that you listened to this whole episode shows your dedication.
So keep going, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode. Before you go, guys, make sure to download your complete study guide from the link in the description. It's got 50 practice exercises from A1 to C1 and all our mental map charts. If you're not on YouTube, hop on YouTube and check the description box of episode 12. You'll find the link there.
Until next time, keep speaking easy.
Bye!